Hi guys, welcome back to Love, Heal, Repeat. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're talking about fear, and I'm gonna walk you through how I got to this, not realization because I've had it before, but a more receptive, I want to say, just a deeper realization of how it's playing in my life. So let's dive right in. So how I even got into this. So I was scrolling on TikTok, as one does, and I came across this video of this girl talking about the 7 chakras, or the 7 levels as she calls them. And I remember I studied chakras a little bit, but not a lot. So like I knew what each one did, and I did want to clear them and unblock them and charge them and all that stuff. But I kind of just like let it go. I think I got to the solar plexus and then I just stopped taking notes on it. I stopped studying it, so I dropped it, But I came across this video again, and she was talking about how, which really hit me because I was thinking about this the whole week, or the whole last 2 weeks. Did you yawn? It's funny how when you hear yawn, sometimes when people hear the word yawn or they see yawn, they yawn as well. We still don't know what that is. I don't think it's a lack of sleep. I think it's part of it is a release, or just like an influx of oxygen because you're not getting enough. I don't know. Anyways, so my question that I was asking my guides for clarity on was, why is it that there are so many things that I genuinely want to do, but when I have the time to do it, I don't? Why is that? And I was wondering, am I just lazy? Am I undisciplined? Why am I not just doing it? Like, for example, if I want to go on a walk, if I want to create something different that I've never created before, if I want to start learning about something new, if I want to commit to really committing to learning something new, because I think I have it so based in school, like it's such a school mindset, and I'm not a fan of school right now, but like I'm getting back to it. But I think that's kind of where that comes from. Anyways, I was wondering, why is it? Why is it that I want to do something so badly and I don't do it? What's the root cause? And she literally gave me the answer. She was talking about it in her video, and I was like, oh, okay. So I have heard this before, but I think it sunk in deeper this time, where it was more of an epiphany, or like, okay, that resonated now. Basically, fear. Unfortunately, we're all, well, I shouldn't say all, but like 90% of the population, I want to say, is rooted in fear and is being controlled by fear, because that's our environment and like our government and our news and our media and like everything. It's so rooted in fear mongering, and it's keeping us in our first level, or our first chakra, which means we're not bringing in the things we want. If you've been trying to manifest certain things and they haven't come in, chances are it's because you're stuck in your first chakra at the base of your spine, whereas you want to be in your 7th, which is the top of your head, because when that happens, shit gets good. So fear, it's everywhere. It's one of the reasons why I want to say slight anxiety, because I don't want to claim that I have anxiety, because I've worked really hard to quiet it. and like work on my nervous system. But let me just tell you about the root chakra. So your root chakra, the key emotion is fear. That's how it stays blocked. It has to do with your security, your stability, your foundation, and your nervous system. Your fear is stopping you from expanding because deep down you're afraid of change and or success. Which is crazy because like we all want success, but I think we are afraid of it. I'm afraid of it. I don't want to be, but I think I am. I think I know how good my life can get if I start pursuing the things I genuinely want to do. And that scares me. And that I think subconsciously I know it's going to change my life and lead to success. And I'm afraid of changing my life. Even though not desperately, but I really want change in my life. And I'm afraid of it. So the irony. It's fun. It's fun. So if you're wondering why you've really wanted to do something or why you're trying to manifest something big and it's not coming in, look at where you're afraid, what are your fears? And not like fears of spiders, but like fears, like fear of dying alone, fear of not being loved, fear of not being able to love, fear of, I don't know, not being able to pay your rent, stuff like that. Not like, again, not like spiders, animals, not that type of fear. I mean, you could dive into that as well. I don't think it's super relevant. I think more physical, like material world stuff, but also emotional. I guess you could dive into all of it. Figure out where your fear is, or your fears, and where it's coming from. A lot of the times it's your foundation. And so hearing that it controls your nervous system, I'm like, oh, well, that explains why I get anxiety. I have a dysregulated nervous system, and I'm trying to regulate it, which from what I did like 2 summers ago, not this summer, last summer. Yeah. Breathing techniques. I would take deep breaths. I am now starting to say I'm safe and my body's safe. I think that helps. I think that's a realization that like, hey, you're safe. You're safe. I think that's very powerful to say to yourself. Like, just put your hand on your heart and say, I'm safe. So mote it be. So I'm learning how to deal with my nervous system, or how to regulate it properly and keep it calm and not like, ooh, So that's something I'm going to work on, and I should write. So my video just paused because I had a timer go off. That's kind of annoying. But anyways, I'm going to write this down. So I want to study this and like how to properly regulate my nervous system, because something I really realized about myself recently. I've been getting very deep with myself recently, and not of like it's been deeper than I have been in the past. It's been more root problems, core issues, which I'm so grateful for, because they're teaching me a lot about myself, and a lot of my cat's in the frame, I'm sorry, and a lot about the things that I could change for the better and like deal with. And so I'm glad that they're coming up. Where was I going with this? Okay. I think I was going to say the things I'm ashamed of. Like, okay, so I was going through the chakras. I went through my root and trying to find where I'm fearful, what I'm fearful of, which I didn't get super far. I feel like it was pretty general, like you're just fear of changing your life. Like you want change, but I think you're afraid to step out of here we go. I'm afraid to step out of my comfort zone because it triggers my nervous system. Then I get anxiety. And I hate feeling like that. Like when if I'm outside, not at the place where I'm stable in, like for example, my job, I'm pretty stable in my job. I'm not super conscious, or like my anxiety doesn't tick when I'm around people my age at my job because it's easier for me to talk to them, I guess. I don't know what that is. I think for me, or how I've realized it, I think, is that if I think, I'm sorry to admit this, if I think I'm maybe better than you, or if I think I have the upper hand, how I like to phrase it, if I have the upper hand, I'm not afraid to talk to you. If I don't, I'm like, I'm not talking to you. So, like around kids my age, like my peers. And when I'm out in public, if I walk by kids by my age, my anxiety ticks up a little bit. And that has to do with probably my shame more than my fear. And I realized I'm actually ashamed of quite a bit, which is not a good feeling, but it's a great indicator of what I need to address and where I need to heal. So I'm not going to go into all of my shame, but one of my reasons that I'm ashamed of who I am and how this is stopping me from being authentic or truly authentic is because I'm a little bit afraid of my kooky ideas and how weird I am. And I don't really think I'm weird, but when you sit down and have an actual conversation with me, like a deep conversation, I'm pretty out there with my thoughts and my beliefs and just how I see the world as a very energetic state. I do feel like it's different from most people. And growing up, when you hear people that you love talk about certain people who are like that, who I'm like right now, being like they're crazy or they're kooky or they're different or whatever, I think kooky is a good word, and then you becoming that, it's not very healing, to say the least. And yeah, I think I am ashamed of that, and just my beliefs, I guess. Like, not all of them, but it is different. I have gone against my church, I guess. I don't go to church anymore, but I have gone against the religion I was brought up in. And so that was hard to deal with friends. Part of it was I don't think they'd love me, and part of it was I don't want to, or it's harder for me to necessarily be friends with people who have opposing views than me, which I know now is not okay. And now I have, but then I was like, we don't have the same views. I don't want you in my life. And now I'm like, okay, we don't have to have the same views. It'd be nice if we had the same core views, but it's okay. You know, I'm not going to ruin something just because of that. So that was fun learning. I don't want to say but oops. Yeah, so shame in myself, which it isn't great, but again, it's a good indicator, and it's something I need to work on and heal through gently and with love for myself. So that's something I will deal with. I guess that's it. I really just wanted to talk about fear and how it really predicts a lot in our life, and how it keeps us in our comfort zone so that we never escape it, we never change our lives. And like, we never reach that freedom that I truly desire, and I think we all truly desire. The freedom to just live and exist and have everything flow easily to you and have life be so easy, and how you think about you want something, it pops up. You think about, oh, I need money to pay this, it pops up. Like that type of ease in life, that is the goal for me. And because I want that freedom, and it's work to get there, but I do feel like I have hit a deeper level of understanding myself. So I think it's amazing that I've hit that when I've hit it. I don't know, divine timing. Another thing is, I don't know if divine timing is a thing, or if the world really is completely energy based and there is no higher being that's dictating things or putting things together. Because like, if you fully believe it or you fully know it's going to happen, it'll happen, you know, which I talked about in my last video. But that's another topic for another time. Anyways, for today, address some of your fears if you feel like it. It's a great time to. We're moving into Aquarius and Pluto. Is it Pluto? I think it's Pluto. Which is the first time since the French Revolution, the American Revolution, and some other things, which are like big times. So yeah, I'm just glad I'm doing it now so that I can change my life completely within the next, I want to say year or so, but we'll give it some time and say a couple of years. Anyways, go address your fears. I need to attend to my cats hissing at each other. Thanks for tuning in. As always, peace and love. Bye.